Boy, that's a franchise on a roll lately, isn't it? Predator Badlands. Went to the theater to see it. That is such a rarity for me these days, but I had the time and it's good. It's a lot of fun. Um, I'm not sure it's absolute top tier for Predator, but it's up there certainly. It's real. It's as far as theatrically released stuff, third best in the series. I go back and forth on whether Predator or Prey is the best in the franchise, but this is the third best, I would say. And it's really interesting watching a story where a predator is the protagonist. We follow Deck, who is he's a bit of a runt. Not much is expected of him. Actually, so little is expected of him that he is deemed a weakness of the clan, and his father wants his older brother to kill. Well, I don't know if it's his older brother, his bigger brother, certainly, to kill him. And instead, what ends up happening is Deck ends up on a planet that houses a particular creature that is believed to be unkillable. Deck says, I'm going to hunt that. I'm going to prove I'm not weak. And then he ends up on this planet, and here we go. There's a lot that's really good about this. First of all, the amount of expression that they get in the face, as I understand it in terms of how this was done, they did have an actor in a suit, but there was no practical mask. That is all CGI, which is really impressive considering like how real and visceral it looks. Like in particular, I really love, so like, the predator, like with the mandibles, but there's this sort of connective tissue for like the two mandibles on the same side. So it's kind of like a cheek. I love that when the predator growls or clicks, like that kind of flaps a little bit. Oh, that's such a wonderful little detail. I kept staring at it every time it happened. I'm like, oh, that's so good. Ah, and especially knowing that it's something they had to go out of their way to do, with the CGI effects on the face. Oh, God, that's amazing. And Deck is incredibly well performed. There's great physicality. There's a lot of expression in the face, and he rides that line really well as someone who clearly is capable of thinking beyond sort of the culture he was raised in, but he is still very embedded in that culture. Like he probably recognizes that like some of what his clan and certainly what his father has done, like isn't good, but he was still so raised in that and so embedded in that he still has those beliefs, those core notions and principles of the hunt and strength and doing it yourself and all this, and sort of seeing those things slowly break down over time is really well done. I like Thea, the synth half synth that he finds, and I think she's really well balanced too. Because she is a character who is designed to be kind of annoying to the protagonist and who talks too much. That's a really tricky character to get right. I've noted a lot of times before, if you have a character who part of their dynamic within the story is that they annoy the characters we relate to, odds are they're also going to annoy the audience. But since Deck isn't someone, he is the protagonist. We're meant to relate to him insofar as root for him, but we aren't necessarily meant to see ourselves in him. So the ways in which he finds her annoying are understandable, but aren't, I think, as automatically transferable to annoyance at the audience. And I do think as much as they had her do the talk too much thing, they came right up to the line of like overdoing it without quite crossing it. And there's just interesting personality brought into her. And I also kind of like the small touches of being the idea that while many synths don't really have emotions, she does, because being able to do have and convey a degree of empathy with the things that she studies allows her to better manipulate and figure out how to make use of them. If you understand it better, including on an emotional level, you can utilize it more. and in more ways. So I like that there is a justification for the fact that she has more personality than most synths we've seen out of Weyland-Yutani. Because yes, there is a tie to the alien universe. All of this is interconnected at this point. We know that, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think the use of Weyland-Yutani in this was, again, just the right amount. They could have overdone that. I think it was just the perfect amount. Something I didn't even realize, I think, until the day before I went to see this. This is PG-13. That wouldn't have occurred to me watching it, because like it's PG-13 because of the very specific things about it, which is that the predators bleed green, the synths bleed white, and there isn't a level of gore that is realistic in terms of like, oh, red blood, oh, like innards or whatever, but like it's pretty brutal. This thing is shockingly violent. They get away with a lot just by virtue of the fact that none of the characters that it's happening to are human, and even the ones who look human, aka the synths, don't bleed red. Like, they get away with so much. So I don't think the PG-13 rating holds this back at all. I think this is taking perfect advantage of the fact that they had that at their disposal. There was no need to bump this up to R. They nailed it as they've got it. Fantastic. So do I want to give a spoiler warning? Not quite yet. There's another sort of companion character, which I do like it. It's this small, it's kind of ape-like, at least in terms of its movement and like its posture. It is, in my personal opinion, a little cuter than I would care for. I know that my friend Jesse like called it sort of a Disney-fied choice, like to have an animal sidekick. I don't think that is something I take issue with so much. I do think it was clearly deliberately designed to be cute. That I could have done without, but as far as its use within the story and the narrative, I actually think it works well, and it plays decently. And even the fact that it is used for comedy at some points largely works for me. I just wish it was less cute, you know? That to me is the only aspect that I was like, do we need that? But as far as its overall use in the story, while I was kind of prepared to be annoyed by it, no, I liked it. I liked it by the end, especially. So I guess some degree of spoilers now. So the Callisk, which is the thing, that was your spoiler warning, just to be clear. The Callisk, which Deck is hunting, is it's not truly immortal because it does die, but like it has a preposterous healing factor, which is a really good solid threat to give. But then finding out that Bud, the little ape-looking thing, is a child Callisk. And again, that could have felt cheap, that could have felt manipulative, that could have felt like, why are you doing this? But I think the way that all those things tie together, and this sort of, by the end, forming this new disparate clan for himself, works quite well. And also, like, I just love the irony of Deck's father having his head bitten off by the creature that he himself was afraid to hunt, and his son, who he disregarded, not only hunted it, he befriended it. He's domesticated the damn thing. That's a flex. I like it. I'm here for it. The ending is, I don't want to say it's a cliffhanger ending. It is one of those the adventure continues kind of endings. I do distinguish between those. A cliffhanger means you have not finished the story. The adventure continues ending is, this story is done. These people have more adventures. We may or may not show them to you, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I also liked, I mentioned Thea already. I also liked Tessa, and I like that Elle Fanning got to play those two characters as distinct as they are. I think, again, speaking of flexing, I think that was a nice acting flex. And like, not even just the way that she talked, just down to the physicality that performed very differently. I love the stuff with the legs. Like, does it make physics sense that legs without the without the leverage of the weight of the upper body, could still do the Black Widow, like, legs around the head flip over thing. No, it doesn't. Do I care? No, I don't. Like, I really love the assault on the Weyland-Yutani facility. And I know a lot of it doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, the notion that Deck got this spitting cobra thing and is able to aim it like it's a laser and it will spit on his command. Like, okay, even if I could believe that you could train this thing to do that, you haven't had the time to do that. But again, I don't care. I will accept Rule of Cool, especially from the Predator franchise. The Predator franchise should be cool. This stuff's cool. I like it. It's a dang good time. I had fun with this movie. Did you see it? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills that enables me to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out that way, like, share, subscribe. Those will help as well. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. And now to shout out my highest supporting patrons. Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Zubin Lutfula, Auntie Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casperl, Dave Hall, Oliver B, Sean Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Melissa Pedersen, Becky Sparks, Ulrich, Loki Eris, Tracy Scrabbit, Palbo, Rabajoggle, Sir Didymus is my favorite, and starting this month, I'm going to shout out 3 random supporters from the other tiers. So this month, my thanks to Tommy Castronova, Tim Price, and Caramelized Catherine. If you want to hear me shout you out, check out the reward tiers on the Patreon. You know, I put them one on each shoulder. They consolidated immediately. So, thanks, guys.